So, tips, tricks, and hacks. They're awesome, right? They're really fun. They're so handy. They sometimes are mind-blowing how these little things can make such a difference, like a new way to cut your avocado or your mango or something. But how many tips, tricks, and hacks have you tried and then stopped doing? How many times have you tried to use a hack in your work and then you found yourself back in the old pattern again? How many times have you tried to use a tip or a trick to improve a particular aspect of your performance or even your relationship? And then you found yourself back in the same old pattern again, like falling off the wagon. So I'm here to share about why tips, tricks, and hacks don't work and how they can work much more reliably, much more sustainably. Because think about it, right? So first of all, think about this in terms of what you've already tried. So think about what tips, tricks, and hacks you've already tried, particularly around your work, particularly around your business, particularly around your relationships, and tell me which have been sustained, which have actually had longevity, versus which have been like a flash in the pan, a really great idea this week, and you do it amazingly for this week, and then, oh, you're back to the old you again. And obviously, I'm saying this because I've done it so many times. Like people have given a great idea of something new to try, and I'm all enthused by it, and it's like, oh yeah, yeah, it's brilliant. And then I'm back into my old ways and I've not sustained it. And the reason that happens is because there's something more fundamental bringing you back to an old way of being, which is more compelling to you and your system, even if you don't want it to be. It's more compelling than the tip, the trick, or the hack. Now, contrast that with maybe you have had some tips, tricks, or hacks about how to cut an avocado, or how to reuse your cling film, or I don't know, how to present your napkins differently on the table. I don't know where that example came from. I never put napkins on the table, apart from at Christmas. Um, anyway, there might be some little tips, tricks, and hacks like that in your life, maybe even also in your work or in your relationship where you have taken them on, you've gone, oh yeah, that's an awesome idea. And maybe you are still actually doing it today. So notice that when you took those ones on, there was a lightness about them. There was nothing big about them. Like there was nothing personal about it. You know, like if you did learn how to cut an avocado differently, it said nothing about you in terms of how you were previously cutting your avocado and how you could cut your avocado. It was just that was how I was doing it before. Oh my God, new tip, trick, or hack in how to cut my avocado. Amazing. New, better way to do it. I'm totally doing that now. There are shifts like that where it just totally makes sense and you just switch and it's done and amazing. But what I've seen in my life and in the life of my clients is that no matter how many tips, tricks, or hacks they get for some aspects of their life and their work, they just end up back in that falling off the wagon, back to the old way, back to the old way of being, back to the old me, back to the old habits. And then it starts again, and you go looking again. Well, there must be a better tip, trick, or hack then. There must be something else I could try. And so you do. You find some more, and you try those, and then, oh, look, I'm back in the same old pattern again. And it's these ones that I'm interested in. If they're light-hearted, if they're easy, if you just love it and you do the new way and you keep doing it because you love it and it gets great results, amazing. That's what they're designed for. Like, that's what tips, tricks, and hacks are actually designed for. But if that doesn't happen, if they're not working, if they're not sustained, if you feel like you're always chasing the next one that's going to actually make the difference, that's actually going to flip the switch and have you have a sustainable difference in whatever it is, whether it's, I don't know, how you sell, how you market, what your pricing strategy is, how you treat your partner or your spouse, how you spend time with your kids. If there's anything around those areas of life where you're like, no matter what you try, you keep being sucked back into this vortex, like a compulsion back, pulling you back into this old way of being, then there is something much more fundamental going on. Because what you're trying to do is shift your identity into a different identity. It's like, right, here I am in this identity where, let's say, I'm terrible at marketing. And so I'm going to try these tips, tricks, and hacks. It's hard to say that to market in a different way. And so I'm going to put the effort in, and I'm going to do the thing, and I'm going to implement this trick, and I'm going to try and make it work. And then, oh, a week later, a month later, oh, I'm back to doing it how I used to be doing it. And I didn't get the results, and I'm still not getting the results now. And so that is the place where the identity shift hasn't happened. The avocado one was easy. I am easily going to shift my identity from the person who cuts an avocado like this. I'm now the kind of person who cuts an avocado like this. Check me out. Whereas with some of these shifts, the identity that we start with, we truly think it's who we are. And so when we try and move out of it into something else, it's like the tension is too great. The discomfort of that tension is too great. We're too attached to this identity here to move to this new one over here that does marketing really well. And hence, we get sucked back into the old identity. The tip, trick, or hack falls away. We still feel dissatisfied with where we are here. And so we go seeking again. Oh, there must be a better tip or trick or hack that's actually going to nail it. And we try another one and then back here again until eventually, when we've done that enough times, we realize there is something much deeper, much more fundamental, and much more significant to shift, to clear, to get rid of in us, in order that the tips, tricks, and hacks around marketing, sales, relationships, whatever it is, can just naturally be implemented the same way as shifting from one way of cutting an avocado to another. And because it all starts from you. It all starts from you and what's happening in you in making that shift. So if any tip, trick, or hack feels like something you have to do, something you should do, something you need to put effort into doing, something that feels hard work and like a slog, anything that you feel like you've got to stay committed to with grit and determination and God damn it, and then you find yourself back here again. That's where we want to be addressing the identity of here, whatever this is here now. We want to be handling that. We want to be dealing with that so that these obvious tips, tricks, and hacks just get done effortlessly, just like an avocado. And that's what I do with the Mace Energy Method. Because the thing is that even here, even if you knew, oh, I have the identity of someone who doesn't get sales in. I have the identity of being somebody who doesn't ever win in business. I have the identity of being someone who can't effectively communicate and therefore can't market my products and services effectively. Yes, you might be consciously aware of those identities, but you can't always consciously know either how to shift that or what might in fact be behind that at a much deeper level, a level that cannot be accessed at this conscious level of thinking, a level that cannot just be talked about in conversation with a coach. It needs something much deeper, which the Mace Energy Method is. And then in addressing the depth of what lies behind this repeating pattern of not being able to implement these tips, tricks, and hacks, in clearing that root cause, now you're back in your natural, light-hearted beingness that can, just like the avocado, go, oh my God, that is an amazing tip, trick, and hack for my marketing. I am doing it. I am on it. I am right there. And it's done. It's so obvious. There's no questioning, there's no doubting, there's no back into an old identity because in the MACE process, we handle the old identity out of your world. We get the negative identity that's been holding you back, that's been sucking you back into its negative vortex. We get that, we clear it, it's gone. And then you get to play with all the tips, tricks, and hacks you want. Just like the avocado ones, they all become like avocado tips, tricks, and hacks. They all take on that same quality of easy, effortless, obvious, and just done. Like they're a delight. They're not a heavy thing that I've got to do. They're not a thing that you're forcing yourself to do. They're not a thing that you fall off the wagon with. It's just a thing you do because it looks great. Like, what a great idea to do it that way. So you do it. And because it's great and you're enjoying it, you get great results. So you do it again because it's working. And then maybe it will stop. You'll stop using it one day. Maybe you'll find another one, but not because you need one, not because you're so desperate to find the next tip, trick, or hack to take you out of this current experience. You'll just find the next one because it looks like the next fun thing to do, the next awesome mindset shift, the next awesome reframe of a situation, the next awesome idea to do something in a different way that's going to make your life easier, more fun, more effortless, more enjoyable. So, yes, tips, tricks, and hacks can work. And if you're experiencing this back into the old pattern again and again and again, then please do get in touch because that's exactly what I help you with in the Mace Energy Method. I look forward to seeing you there.